Section 8.3 covers consumer loans. We're going to look at the add-on interest loan. We're going to figure out finance charges for credit cards using the unpaid balance method and also something called the average daily balance method. And then we're going to compare the two to see which one's worse. Sounds like fun. All right, so next slide. First thing we're going to look at is the add-on interest method. And this is pretty standard, I think, for when you buy a car. Anyway, loans having a fixed number of payments are called closed-ended credit, also known as an installment loan. And each payment that you make is called an installment, and the interest that is charged on the loan is called the finance charge. So we've got closed-ended credit, also known as an installment loan. Every time you make a payment, it's an installment. And the interest charged is referred to as the finance charge. All right, so just words to look out for. The formula is very simple. To figure out what your monthly payment is going to be, your monthly payment, you are going to take the principal, which is however much money you're going to borrow, and then they are going to calculate the interest that you'll be charged on that principal. And when they do this, they're going to use simple interest because it's a one lump sum of interest that you're going to be charged. And then they're going to add those two together. They're going to add them together. And the last thing is they are going to divide it by n, where n is the number of monthly payments. So there's 12 months in a year, and depending on how many years you set up, like standard for a car loan is usually 4 years, 5 years, or 6 years. Sometimes you can go 3 years, sometimes you can go 2, but most people it's usually 4 or 5 or 6 years. Some places, if you're lucky, might go 7, but the longer it takes for you to pay back the money you borrowed to get that car, the more interest you're going to, rack up. Okay, so let's see. Here's just a little loan. Let's say you take out an add-on loan. All right, so we're doing the add-on loan for $720. And it's going to be a 2-year loan, which means you've agreed to pay it all back within 2 years. They're going to charge you an annual interest rate of 18%. And the question is, what will be your monthly payment? Now, if you borrow $720, you have to pay back all $720, right? Plus interest. The interest is, and I can't remember what colors I used before, they are going to add on the interest to that. Now to calculate interest, it's simple interest, so that's principal times rate times time. Our principal was the $720. Our interest rate was 18%. You'll notice it's 0.18. And then the number of years, it's going to take you 2 years, or that's what you've agreed to. And so when you multiply all that together, you get $259.20. That is your finance charge, all right? Whatever you needed to buy, it cost $720. You didn't have $720, but you needed it right then and there. So you agreed, okay, if you loan me the $720, I will agree to pay back the $720 plus an additional $259.20 because you've allowed me to take 2 years to pay it back. So you add those two together. So remember, this is the principal. You're adding on, the interest, which gives you this total amount. And then, because it's for 2 years, it's going to be 24 payments. Let me find an orange pen here. You're going to make 12 monthly payments, right? 12 monthly payments, I'm abbreviating that, for the next 2 years. 12 times a year for the next 2 years means you're going to make 24 installments. They're going to take out this amount of money from your bank account every month for the next 24 years, and you will have paid that back. So usually if you go in like on, I don't know, like if we went in today, what is it? It's October something. Usually they give you a little bit of a grace period before they start it. So if it's the middle of October, your first payment probably won't be until December. And usually it's like December 1st. So these are things you can negotiate with them. But, you know, if you took $40.80, multiplied it times 24, that would give you the $979.20. And that's how long it takes to pay it back. And that is the add-on interest method. Okay. Now, this next one is called the unpaid balance method. This is what you have with open-ended credit, which is a credit card. And I'm actually going to do a second video on this because it's going to take a little longer to explain than I can do right now.